Welcome to this edition of Agile and DevOps Tidbits. Today's topic is DevOps blame game, change components and superordinate goals. So what is the blame game? Well, most of us are familiar with this. There's a few forms of it. One of the traditional ones is that development creates new software and hands it off to the operations group. The operation releases it, and shortly after releasing it, there's some kind of issue, and now the blame game starts. Ops is blaming Dev for what did you give us. Dev is blaming what did you do when you set it up and installed it. Or it could be as simple as there was an issue in production, and say we have our retrospective. The retrospective turns into instead of a root cause analysis, it's who's at fault. Could be QA. A lot of times QA, how did you miss testing this, and such on. So in other words, the conflict can be in multiple areas, but it's generally generally the blame game is known for the conflict between development and operations. So how has Agile sort of worsened the conflict? Well, Agile primarily improves on the classic approach by introducing the whole team approach, where developers, testers, and QA form a team that closely collaborates with the business. The unified team works as a unit of specialists who simultaneously perform general duties and who share responsibility for producing high quality software. However, operations is traditionally not a part of that team. This has led to a misalignment of goals and tasks, often resulting in a blame game. And we have to sort of realize here that ops has what we term a vertical optimization strategy, while development has a horizontal optimization strategy, and these are sort of a conflict with each other. And the truth is, most corporations have built in this conflict. And what we've seen during the last few years, these agile iterative models have become mainstream, but all too often, companies have just simply stopped adding people and activities to the process at the point where the software releases were shipped to production. So how is the industry sort of suggesting you overcome the blame game? And the big one out there is, hey, we'll change incentives and that'll stop the blame game and we'll bring people together and this will solve everything. But there's a big but to this. Unfortunately, most of the individuals and a lot of the industry experts out there simply don't understand the components of change. They believe that by changing, simply incentives, that'll bring groups together and will force them to work together. And the reality is, yes, you'll probably get change, but you probably won't get the change you want. If we look at traditionally what we view as change, it's vision, skills, incentives, and resources, and a plan. This equals change. When we have all these components, we get the change we're looking for. When we're missing vision, but we have skills, incentives, and resource, and a plan, we generally have confusion. If we have vision, but we lack the skills, and we have incentives, resources, and plan, we have anxiety. When we have vision and skills, but we're missing incentives. When we have resource and plan, we generally have resistance. When we have vision, skills, incentives, but we're missing resources, but we have a plan, we have frustration. When we have vision, skills, and incentives, resources, but don't have a plan, that's generally when we have a false start. So how do we, if we put all the components of change in place, and how do we bring these people together? What really does work? And one of the ways that we see to overcome conflict, especially with blame game, is what we call superordinate goals. Superordinate goals are goals that can be achieved only if the conflicting groups come together and strive to achieve a common objective. Being receptive to each other's ideas, this motivates them to dissolve their differences and develop a team spirit to reach a common goal. Basically, superordinate goals are nothing but more than creating such a goal. Like, it cannot be accomplished unless and until the persons in conflict come together, give their inputs, and pool their resources. So that'll wrap up this edition of Agile and DevOps Tidbits. As always, you can find out more information at Agile Testing Framework or contact us at Torak. Thank you.